There were some mock drafts I did where I had Darian Kinnard as high as a first round talent. So I am shocked to see him fall this far, quite frankly. I really like the guy. I think he's a really talented player, and he's someone who I think, again, he played at Kentucky, which, so he had in the SEC, had a high level of competition, and was good. He had a lot of production, and that's something that translates well to the next level. He's someone who I feel like is a steal, and maybe he's just going to be depth. I think he could compete for that right tackle spot. I don't think that's crazy necessarily. And, Kansas City got a guy in Creed Humphrey, who many people weren't pounding the table for, and he was a star last year. This could maybe be another example of that, perhaps. Again, let's get into the film. Let's talk about why I like this pick so much from Kansas City's perspective. All right, let's start off with this play. So you see it's a one-on-one matchup against that Georgia player who's also in that yellow box with him. And this is just a good play by Kinnard here. Kind of wanted to show off his strength and his hands. Those are obviously two very important things with, whether it's a tackle or a guard. And what you're going to see on display is really watch his right hand. As you see, when the play begins, you do see that, he gets that right hand where he wants to. Gets it sort of on that left, pec area of the defender who he's going up against. And then watch him just kind of toss him to the side. I mean, that's just great strength. It finishes off the block as well. So he is someone who can, do that. He can move people in the running game. So right off the bat, definitely a positive trait in a defender. You want someone who can move guys. Well, he is someone who can move guys. Or excuse me, I said positive trait in a defender. Positive trait in a tackle, obviously. And something like this as well, where it's, again, going to be his hands, where what's going to happen is he's going to start off blocking the edge rusher, but then get up and just block somebody else who gets in the area. The way this entire play works is it's going to be just a flip to the halfback towards the top of the screen, so that's where, the quarterback is going to be throwing the ball to. So for Kinnard, that's what he's trying to accomplish here, is just to help block that side of the field. Again, it's going to come down to his hands. Really pay attention to what he does with his hands here. Watch him really just toss Trayvon Walker to the side and still gets over to block the next guy immediately. So again, yes, that's Trayvon Walker, obviously, very hyped up prospect in his own regard. And Kinnard is able to, have no issue with him and still get up to the next level and block the guy he has to block to. Typically, you see guys do that with speed, right? But the way Kinnard does it is just with his hands. If he can win that first block quickly enough, well, then he doesn't have to be as fast as some of these other guys. He's still just, he has more time to get there. He's starting earlier, essentially. Something like this, again, is really going to be what it comes down to. Really kind of what he can do so well is just his hands. He gets the hand placement where he wants, especially in the pass protection game. He's constantly getting his hand placement where he wants. So again, right tackle, what's the hand that's the most important? It's going to be his right hand. So it's going to be all about, can he get that hand placement where he wants? Right when this play begins, you do notice that he is able to get his right hand. I know it's a little blurry, sorry. I mean, again, don't always have all 22 footage for everybody, so kind of got to work with what I have. But anyways, it's a little bit blurry, it's hard to tell. But what he does have is he has his hand on that, again, that right pec area to where he can really control this play. And it's going to be really difficult to win unless you can not, cause him to lose that hand placement from here. But that doesn't seem to happen too often. Look at Kinnard be able to just, hold off him very well until the quarterback goes off and runs. So again, that is winning a rep. And that's what you look for with tackles, right? Do you win, and do you win consistently? And he wins and wins consistently. As for his losses, like a play like this, again, everyone has losses. This tends to be the way that he will lose, and probably why he is, not considered one of the top tackle prospects is because you will see this on tape where it's going to be a one-on-one matchup, and right when this play begins, he gets beat right off the line. Some people, if you have really quick feet and really quick hands, you're going to be able to beat Kinnard. Now, the one thing I would say is the guy who is beating Kinnard here is Devontae Wyatt, my favorite interior defensive lineman in this draft class. So, really good player who's being able to beat him. That does happen. So, it's kind of like, okay, is this a bit of an issue? Sure, but it's not a big issue. I didn't see this too much, and the guy who's beating him is a really hyped up prospect in his own right. So, it's not the end of the world for me. And as you see, it looks like, I couldn't really tell from this angle. It seemed like there was probably a hold there. That's what it looked like, but the flag wasn't thrown, so I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe some of the O-line guys, in the comments below can help me out with that one. Not sure exactly how that ended up that way, but still, got a little bit beat off the line. That did happen. However, for every one of those, there's plenty of these, which again, this is him going up one-on-one against Trayvon Walker. I'm specifically showing the Georgia game to show, like, okay, these are the, when he's going up against NFL talent, a lot of these guys are, NFL caliber players. How did he hold up? Because that's probably going to be a good indicator of how he'll hold up against, actual NFL players in the NFL, where what's happening on this play, it's a one-on-one block, and watch what happens. As you see, Kinnard gets the hand placement he wants. Walker tries to overpower him, gets him a little back, but not too much. I mean, Kinnard held his own pretty well there. So as a whole, that's kind of my main takeaway with Kinnard. Like, at the end of the day, it's, are you winning consistently? All that really matters is production, and he has production, and that tends to be what translates well to the NFL level. So, especially with good competition he went up against, still the tape looks very good. So yeah, that's just kind of my thought about him is, again, you play in a place where you're going to have a high level of competition and you hold your own, and he didn't just hold his own, he thrived. Typically, that'll get you some, at least first round buzz. I thought he would go in round 2. I didn't think he would go first round, but I thought he would go round 2 or at least round 3. Surprised he went all the way here as an early 5th rounder, but sometimes this happens. I know there's been some talk about potentially some character issues with him, which might make some sense, but hey, wonder someone like that, drafting him later can actually be a value pick and can help your football team. All these guys that the Chiefs got are guys I like. Sky Moore, I had a first-round grade on. George Karlaftis, first-round grade on. Trent McDuffie, first-round grade on. And then, here, first-round grade. And not to mention, I had like a high second-round grade on Brian Cook, who they got in the late second round. And even Leo Chenal, I was a little bit lower on than most, but I thought that that's good value. This has been one of my favorite drafts from the Chiefs' perspective. They had those extra picks, and they're using them well. And I do think that this is a team that could be set up really nicely for the future with a lot of these picks that they made, and because they had a really incomplete roster, and this is what the Tyreek Hill trade did. Again, we can argue back and forth what's the value of, is that a smart decision to get rid of Tyreek Hill, but they've done a great job in this draft, I think, of getting good prospects who have potential to be great. Who knows with this stuff? It's all a guessing game, but I think they made some good guesses. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? I also should mention, last film studies done, at least for, during the draft. I'm going to make some more of some of the more interesting picks that I did not make film studies for. Like Quay Walker, probably I'll, make a film study of him eventually. But so if you're interested in that, check that out. But yeah, for today, done the film studies. We'll still have some more videos coming out. Ton of content still coming out this week about the draft. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you thought of this Chiefs pick in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.